my work is done here.
What do you mean your work is done? You didn't do anything.
Didn't I?
The Thalmor are a massive deal in Skyrim. They're everywhere, weeding their way through the country with patrols, embassies, and outposts. But they're a complete non-factor in Oblivion. This shouldn't be surprising considering that the Empire is the top dog of Tamriel at the time, and there wasn't a lot of room for competition. But things changed quickly after Sean Bean predictably kicked the bucket. You see, the Empire got fractured, countries started leaving left, right and centre, and this allowed the Thalmor to become the threat they are in Skyrim. But how did they get their start? It wasn't as though they were a massive political party in the Somerset Isles during Oblivion. They were kind of a laughingstock, crying for the good old days of elven supremacy, only to be ignored, but things drastically changed after the Oblivion crisis. Cyrodiil wasn't the only place to get rocked by Mehrunes Dagon and his boys. He invaded all of Tamriel, and while he had varying levels of success, if you believe Argonian propaganda, he did have a field day in the Somerset Isles. This kinda surprises me, given how powerful Altmer mages are meant to be, but this could also be due to how isolated the Altmer were. Daedra flooded the Isles, turning most of the population into refugees, and there weren't many places for them to flee. Many attempted to flee abroad, taking to boats and trying to make it to the mainland, but apparently Dagon has weather manipulation or something? That's apparently something he can do, and storms were summoned to destroy any ships trying to flee. This left the Altmer isolated in their battle against the Daedra, and while they weren't the key focus of the invasion like Cyrodiil was, they suffered heavy losses. Well, that's according to some, because we as players don't actually see it, and how badly the Altmer suffered depends on what source you read, since many of the in-game books have unreliable, biased narrators, which is immersive I guess, but it's pretty annoying. So yeah, thanks Todd, I suppose.
They don't.
Some say that the Somerset Isles got decimated from head to toe, while others say they did a lot better than Cyrodiil, able to go into the Deadlands and close some of the Oblivion gates. Like with most things, the truth is probably somewhere in the middle. But one thing we definitely do know is that the Crystal Tower fell. Now, I went over this lightly in my Argonia video, and kind of undersold the Crystal Tower as an Altmer equivalent of the Arcane University. It's quite a bit more than that, being one of the mythical towers used to stabilise Mundus, the universe. It gets super complicated, but for the sake of this video, all you need to know is that it's a very important place to the Altmer and a pillar of magic, and has survived a truly ridiculous number of events, so much so that people thought it would never fall. As a result, many refugees went to hide in the tower as the Daedric horde attacked, and it took a lot of them to get the job done. So many Daedra had been killed that they began to climb the mounds of corpses to assail the tower, full Brad Pitt style, and it only fell because the Daedra caused an earthquake.
Real deep color. And then kind of go in here at the bottom.
As the tower fell and the Altmer were at the mercy of the Daedra, they vanished, with Martin Septim dragon-punching Dagon back to the Deadlands. But the Altmer didn't know this, isolated on their island. As far as they were concerned, the Daedra just went without much of a warning. And this is when the Thalmor came into the picture, taking credit for saving the day. Well, saving the Altmer anyway. And everyone believed them, for some reason.
I did it. He did it. I did it.
He did it.
You did it, sir.
I did it.
He did it.
I did it. Atrocity is mine.
Annoyingly, we don't have a lot of information about what the Thalmor actually did, but they had to have done something during the crisis for their credit to rise from lunatic racists to believed heroes. The Thalmor probably led some groups into the Oblivion Gates to shut them. You see, while people ignored what the Thalmor had to say, they were always powerful, and probably did save the Altmer from being totally overrun, buying them enough time for Martin to go full Shenron. From there, their prevalence only grew. The Empire was shattered from this point, its rule handed over to potentate Octo, But then he got assassinated, a civil war started, and the Mede dynasty came into power. This time of conflict only helped the Thalmor, causing them to form the Third Aldmeri Dominion with Valenwood and allying with the Khajiit. Another thing that helped the Thalmor was the number of Daedra worshippers in the Somerset Isles. Daedra worship has always been prevalent among elves, with quite a few Aelids from the First Era worshipping Meridia. But with the Thalmor hating Daedra worshippers and a newfound fear of them thanks to the Oblivion crisis, internal rivals probably lost a lot of favour. Dagon had unintentionally paved the path for the Thalmor, and with some clever manipulation they found their way to the top.
You're a pussy.
Before Skyrim, the Thalmor managed to back a coup in Valenwood, claimed to have brought back the moons after they vanished, getting the Khajiit's favour, possibly assassinated the main, Elsewhere's leader, possibly convinced the Argonians into invading Morrowind, and of course started the Great War with the Empire, resulting in the White Gold Concordant and the banning of Talos worship. The Thalmor have gone from strength to strength since the Oblivion crisis, with that being the inciting incident that made them popular with their own people. I mean sure, few losses here and there, mainly Hammerfell mounting a successful rebellion against the Aldmeri Dominion while fighting a civil war, which, I mean, is crazy impressive, but right now, the Thalmor are the top dog in Tamriel. Their trajectory from minor voice in the Somerset Isles to the biggest superpower in Tamriel is remarkable, and hopefully it stops trending up from here. Mainly because they're, well, complete lunatics. They want to subjugate all men, and probably other elves, to create the new Merithic era, like back when the Aelid were in charge. There's also a theory that they want to unmake reality or something, and become gods, I think, but I mean I'm not going to go into that, because it's a bit too conspiracy heavy, and we won't get any real answers until Elder Scrolls 6. Maybe. Probably. Please Dodd. What we really need is Pelennor to make a comeback, but until then, I guess we have to deal with Thalmor patrols the old-fashioned way.